Hey guys, what is up? It's Alex and I am back with a new video. And for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Alex, obviously. I live in New York City and I am a student at the Fashion Institute of Technology. I am 22 and I will turn 23 soon, like in a month. But yeah, today I am making a video all about my experience at the Fashion Institute of Technology. This is my last semester of my 5th year, so I've had plenty of time to kind of figure the school out, figure the city out, and I have lots of things that I would like to share with you guys. I get tons of questions. This is a perfect example of what it's like to live in New York City. I'm also staring into the building across the street at a half-naked man. So you get your fire engine and your half-naked neighbor all in one go. So as I was saying, I get a ton of questions about what it's like at FIT, what it's like to live in New York, and I have done a few Q&As in the past. I will make sure to link those down below. There's also a subscribe button, so if you want to see more about my life in the city, make sure to hit that. But this video will be kind of a more overview and less specific questions. I will be talking about specifically the majors and the classes at FIT, living on campus, and then living in the city. So yeah, if you have any other questions, make sure to leave them down below. I will make sure to comment back or make another video if that's something you guys are interested in. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so first topic is majors and classes at FIT. So I, like I was saying, have been here for 5 years. That was not the original plan. Life always happens different than how you expect it to. But I started at the FIT in fashion business management. It was previously called fashion merchandising, if you hear me talk about it in other videos. And this is a major in the business school. And the way that FIT works is you get a 2-year associate's and then you get a 2-year bachelor's. You're able to change your major in between if you would like, but it's hard. So FIT is a school that you apply directly to your major. This is different than a lot of other universities where you can go in undeclared and then decide what you want to do later. FIT really doesn't work that way. You're admitted into your particular major, and if you want to change it, it's really difficult. And it's easier to switch majors within your school. So if you are a business major and you want to switch into a different business major, that is going to be easier than if you are a business major and want to switch into an art degree, which is what I did. So I started as FBM and felt like I wanted something a little bit more creative. If you guys are coming to FIT expecting for the fashion business degree to be creative, I don't think you're really going to get that. It just wasn't enough for me. I didn't want to do buying. I didn't want to be doing a lot of numbers, so retail, math, like that really isn't my jam. I wanted to be more in product development, in design, in color, in trend forecasting, all of that sort of stuff, which I started to figure out as I was going through my classes here at FIT. And what really helped me figure this out is when I was looking at potential jobs in the fashion arena, the jobs that I was interested in were requiring some sort of design degree and not a business degree. So I made a choice my 2nd year that I wanted to switch into a design program. And this led me to textile design, which I will be giving a little bit more feedback on the design side of things as opposed to the business, just because I'm a little biased. I wasn't totally happy in business, but I know a ton of people who love it. So yeah, I don't want to give you guys a not fair opinion because it wasn't my favorite. That is nothing to do with the major or the quality of teachers or classes. FIT is known for their fashion merchandising program or their fashion business program. So if that's what you're coming here for, that is also great. But I switched into textile design. I did a 1-year associate degree program, which means I did the 2 years of major courses condensed into 1 year. So it was one of the most intense, stressful, rewarding years of my life. I had to complete a portfolio to get into the 1-year program, and this was crazy since I had not previously done any art since high school. So I spent a lot of time putting together pieces, a lot of which are on my wall behind me, to be accepted into the program. And I mean, we had class every day, 9 to 5. It was super intense, but I fell in love. I really didn't think that I was gonna love it. I was nervous, I was doubting my abilities, but I am so happy that I took a leap of faith and applied anyway. I met the most amazing friends that year, and it was a small program. It was only 25 people, so I really connected with each student, with each professor. We knew each other by name. It was just a really rewarding experience. So once I finished that one intense year, I went into my 2-year bachelor program. So I decided to do textile design for my bachelor's as well, and that is what I am finishing up now, and I am in my last semester, and I cannot wait to be done, but I honestly love all of my classes. It is a lot of work, but they are so fun. If you are interested in a design degree, I would definitely recommend textile design, especially if you're into illustration or some sort of fine arts, because textile design kind of takes that and applies it to a product. So we design a lot of patterns for apparel, but also for home, which is the side of the industry that I am more interested in. So my number one thing for you is FIT is not a school for you if you have no idea what you're wanting to do. That being said, I came to FIT thinking that I wanted to be in fashion business, and that changes, and stuff is going to change. You're going to learn so much throughout your 4 years of college and about yourself, what you like and what you don't like. But just know that FIT makes it kind of difficult to switch majors, and if you are wanting to get in and out of school really quickly and you don't know what you want to do, maybe FIT isn't the best option. But if you know that New York is where you want to be and you're interested in fashion or design or anything to do with that kind of industry, then FIT is an awesome choice. So I want to touch briefly on the difference between my art and design classes, and I'm going to try to keep my opinion out of it. Like I said before, I was not super passionate about what I was doing when I was in fashion business, so that kind of affected my work ethic or how I related to the teachers. The classes are going to be all under 30 people. I never was in a big lecture course like other universities, which is really cool. So if you make an effort to get to know the professor, then they are going to know you. And all the classes are 3 hours, so there's a lot of time to get a lot of instruction. The business classes are all lectures, at least the ones I was in, but the design classes are all lab. So many of my design classes are 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours, and some of them are all in one day. Sometimes it's broken up between 2 days, and that sounds like a lot, but when you are working on a project, you spend that time painting or drawing or working on the computer, talking to your classmates, collaborating, getting their ideas on your work. You get to talk to your professors and hear their industry experience, which is also a great thing about FIT. All the teachers have worked in the industry or are currently working in the industry now. And yeah, I felt like in the design program, I got to know my teachers a little bit better. We call each other by our first names, so I don't say Professor whatever. I'm like, David, which I think is a really unique experience, and we just spend so much time together that you get to know each other even on a personal level. So I know that I am leaving FIT with great industry contacts as well, that if 5 years down the road I'm not in the same job, I know that they would be more than willing to put me in contact with other people, which I think is awesome. Next, I want to talk about the topic of critiques, which I think can be really intimidating. I know it was for me moving from business to art because I had no experience with that. And your first one is so nerve-wracking. My heart was beating so fast the whole time. That being said, every major is a little different. I know that some classes tend to be a little bit more intense with their critiques, but my experience in textile design has been nothing but constructive. Our professors all give amazing feedback, and the other people in my classmates, my peers, have never been rude or mean. I've never left a critique crying. That being said, I also have the mentality that I'm in school, and if I was amazing at everything, then why would I be needing to be here? So even if you feel like you're not getting it or your work is not up to standard with other people or your expectation of yourself, just know that you are going to grow so much. And when you look at your work from the beginning of your semester or even like your entrance portfolio and then look at the work that you're creating at the end, you will be blown away and it's a really rewarding experience. Next, I wanted to talk about internships, and I think this is a big topic because it's something that FIT talks about and presses more than anything else, which is amazing because there are so many opportunities here in the city. We have a specific career and internship center that is designed to help you find an internship, prepare your resume, write your cover letter, prep for interviews, all of that fun stuff. I have completed 4 internships since my time here at FIT. One was with a mommy-daughter blogger called Scout the City. I will link them down below. Second was with Cotton Incorporated and their trend forecasting team. My third internship was with the Doniger Group, which is also a trend forecasting company, and I worked in their creative services department. And my third internship was with Kohl's in their bedding design department. And since then, I have accepted a full-time job offer that starts in August. So they offered me a job a year in advance, and a lot of it has to do with the name FIT. So anytime I've been on interviews, the companies have been beyond impressed that I go to the Fashion Institute of Technology. The name holds a lot of weight in the industry, so I think getting a degree from here alone sets you apart from a lot of other people in this competitive industry. My experience at internships have been nothing but glowing. I was never running and getting coffee or just dropping off errands. I was usually really helping with content. I was creating stuff, I was contributing in meetings, and if that's something you're looking for, FIT can set you up with internships like that. Alright, topic number 2 is living on campus. So for those of you who have followed me forever, know that I started my time here at FIT in a dorm called Alumni. I was living on campus. The next 3 years, I then also spent in a dorm, which is different than a lot of other schools. I stayed on campus, and there's an upperclassman dorm about a 10-minute walk away, and that's where I spent 3 years. And since then, I've moved back to the wonderful Alumni, which is a freshman dorm. I will explain that a little bit later in the video. My experience living on campus has also been pretty positive. So I was coming from out of state and I felt like living on campus was important for me. I didn't know the city. I wanted to be close to school. This is also very close to your classes. The freshman dorms are right across the street, so it is extremely convenient. It is in a really wonderful, safe area, and everything is around here. There's a Whole Foods, there's a Trader Joe's, there's drugstores, there's restaurants. Everything is like a couple blocks away from this campus, so I highly suggest living on campus if you have that opportunity, at least your first year. A lot of people move off campus after that, and that is also a personal decision. I know I wanted to because the idea of having an apartment is so fun and so cool, and all my friends were doing it, but I actually decided to stay on campus and become an RA. And my experience being a residential assistant has been awesome. Of course, it's a job and it has its busy downfalls at times, but it has allowed for me to get really plugged into a campus that is really big. There are a lot of people here and everyone is doing their own thing. Everyone has jobs, they have internships, they have classes. It can be an intense environment, and it just allowed for me to get to know a lot of the people around me and learn a lot about myself and my leadership abilities. So if you're interested in being an RA, this is my shameless plug. It has been great. You also get free housing. So if that is a concern for you, definitely look at that. You can't do it your first year, but after that, the position is fair game. The dorms, I think, are fairly nice. I have only lived in apartment-style dorms, so I have not had to share a kitchen or a bathroom with more than 4 people. So this could honestly change your experience, but half the dorms are apartments and half the dorms are traditional style. So you have a lot of options if that is something you're concerned about. And in terms of price, I felt like for me, the city is so expensive. Finding an apartment with this convenience and this safety that the dorms have is possible, but the chances of you paying cheaper are quite slim, and that has just been my experience. Next, I want to talk about clubs. As I mentioned, being an RA, that was one way that I got plugged in on campus. There are also a ton of clubs here, and a lot of them are directly linked to your major. So if you're in fashion business, there's something called Merchandising Society. They bring in speakers. They have a shop that you can run. It looks amazing on your resume. For me, I got plugged into our Christian campus ministry called Christian Fellowship. It is a link with Cru. So if you are another college student on another campus, you may possibly have heard of Cru before. And I'm now the vice president. I've spent the past couple years helping lead Bible study, helping disciple other girls, particularly freshmen. It has been an amazing and rewarding experience, probably the highlight of my time here at FIT. And I cannot stress enough getting plugged in here. It allows for you to meet people outside of your dorm, which sometimes, or like your apartment or whatever you're living in. Yeah, I think that is what really has made my experience here, as opposed to some of my other friends who may not have gotten plugged in right off the bat. Alright, the third and final topic is living in New York City, and this is a topic that I could talk about forever and ever because I'm totally obsessed with this city. I have been ever since I visited when I was 9 years old. I decided I was going to live here and I would do anything and everything in my power to get here. And I think it is probably one of my biggest accomplishments, and one of the things I'm most proud of is graduating from high school at 18 and moving across the country. I'm originally from Georgia, and making this dream happen for myself. I think my life wouldn't be complete if I hadn't have done it. And I was first attracted to the city because of, I don't know, it just has an energy, and it just provides an opportunity to be whoever you want to be. You learn so much about yourself because everything is at your fingertips. You can be interested in anything and everything. You have the opportunity, because there are so many people that, I mean, you honestly can be whoever you want to be, and I really wanted that. It was something I always had the desire to do, was to move somewhere and just learn about myself, away from where I was born and away from my family and my friends and my comfort zone. And I'm very excited that I did it. That being said, living in New York does not offer you a traditional college experience in any way, shape, or form. So if you are really passionate about experiencing football games and Greek life and going to the dining hall and living in a college town, all of those things you probably will not get here, and that part of you will not be satisfied. That being said, there were definitely weekends that we did little road trips and visited friends that lived at traditional colleges, and that was plenty. I got to experience the college life, and that was more than fulfilling enough for me. I think the city in general just forces you to grow up a little faster. You learn to be really independent and to figure things out on your own. I started working my second semester in college and started applying for internships in my second year. So it really has been a hustle all 5 years that I've been here, but it is totally worth it. The city offers something that nowhere else in the world can. It is exciting all the time. There's always something to do. The culture that you can get here, from theater and music and art, is just all at your fingertips. There's so much to explore, and even after my 5 years, I feel like I barely know this place. So I feel like I could live here for the rest of my life and still discover something new every day, which is really exciting to me. I do want to touch a little bit on the nightlife, which is obviously a big part of college and is worth talking about. So at other colleges that are more in a college town, everywhere you go, bars or house parties are all full of college students. That is not really the case here. So there are really no house parties, no apartments are big enough to fit a bunch of people. A lot of students either go to the club scene, or they find college bars, or places to go out in the city. That being said, it can be a little bit more difficult if you are not 21, so just keep that in mind. There's also a sense of safety and precaution you have to take in the city that you don't have to take other places. So constantly being aware, always having someone with you when you're out, not trusting people as easily, because you never know who they're gonna be. Yeah, so that's just something to take into account before you move here if you're thinking about it. That, yeah, enough said. Alright guys, I think that concludes everything I wanted to touch on today. I know I didn't get to go super in depth with any specific topics, so if you have anything else that you want me to talk more about, leave it in the comments below. I hope this helped you in your decision about coming to the city or coming to FIT. I love it here. Of course, every school has its ups and its downs, and its difficulties and its challenges, but I think the city and the name of FIT gives you an advantage over all else. It's a lot of work, but it's work that is fun and that you will feel so rewarded with at the end of your time here. So yeah, again, subscribe, put any questions or comments down below, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!